Welcome back to the channel. Today we got another good video for you guys. I hope we're going to be continuing work on our 825 Bobcat skid steer. Now, if you saw any of the last videos on this machine, we were having hydraulic issues with it. Of course, we resealed one of the cylinders on the front. So that's all fixed, but we're having issues with the pump. It wasn't running right. We were losing pressure. It was very, how do I say this, slow, skittish. Couldn't build pressure, couldn't lift. So what I came to the conclusion on, and we got a little bit of work to do in the garage here before we get right to work. If you look in at the oil, it's very milky. So you can kind of see that from... well, I don't know if you guys can, but I'll show you once it's drained. So what we're gonna have to do, go ahead and drain all the oil out. So I have a pump, we have some hoses I gotta set up. We'll drain all the oil. There's about 30 gallons in here. So we gotta get that all drained out. So I got a little electric pump. That's how we're gonna do that, because there is a drain on the front, but be a very long process to drain into a bucket using a drain pan, stuff like that. So that's why we're going to do that. But I got to finish cleaning up the bench. We're trying to make this look a little bit better. And then I got a couple other things I'm going to hang up in here. Give it a little bit more of a shop kind of feel. And of course we're trying to get the shop or the garage set up so we can do what we need to. So I'm going to get to work on this, so I'll check back in with you guys in a little bit once we start work on the skid steer. Alright, update. We got 4 pails of oil already out of the skid steer. Of course, I'm just using this little guy. It's a 12 to 24 volt pump. I'm starting to believe it's an air pump because it's doing a really terrible job, as you can see. That's all my outflow. Pulls suction like hot down, but... and it's weird because I've used that for hydraulic fluid before and it's worked great. So I'm not sure what the deal is going on there. We got, well, should be a pail and a half oil left to pull out. I got this kind of lit up. Oil levels down there. I dipped it a while ago. Still had probably 3 inches worth of fluid. So we're getting a couple other things done while that oil's draining. Of course, we have the hydraulic oil filters we got to take off. I believe this one's a 10 and that's a 25 micron. I could have that wrong. I will definitely let you know when I know. But, well, and I have the manual, so I will be able to tell. There should be another, there's a second filter. It's a 10 micron filter under the pedals. That's just super dirty right now. So for right now, I'm just going to do these 2 side filters. I'm going to leave the one under the pedals until I have the ability to clean that out really good. And then I'll do that one. But for right now, I'm going to just do these 2 side ones, put fresh oil in, which this oil is absolutely disgusting. And I bet you 100% that it is just because we have so much water in the oil. Like, this stuff's not even shook up. It's coming out the tube milky, and that's like, this looks like Bailey's cream. Like, that's not good. And yes, I know our pump's aerating, but it's already that like foamy. So I'm just getting this little gear pump back together. I just got done building that, so I'm going to go ahead and bolt this. It goes onto the back end of our hydrostatics down there. Get all the lines hooked up. I'll get the filters done. Hopefully get all that done by the time our oil's all done draining. I'll give it a good suck out, try and get as much oil out as possible. Then I have a bunch of brand new oil we'll put in, but I'll show you guys that when we get there. So I'll get back to work. So you know how we were saying we thought we had water in this? Well, let's just say we're right. Other than the oil being, you know, Bailey Creamer style. We pulled this front plug now that we're to that point. Had straight water kind of come out there. And now we come to here. See, this is where it gets real good. I'll take my little Cyclops light. If you want a good work light, get yourselves one of these. They're like 60 bucks, bright as hell, 3 settings. I love them. So, and there's a magnet. Let me try. How am I gonna light this up for you guys? Alright, I'll try and get focused in here. See right down in there? See that? That is ice. So that brings a whole other plan now. Since this garage is not heated, it makes this a little more difficult. Now it is supposed to be nice here the next few days. So hopefully it'll get warm enough that this will melt and then drain out. That's what I'm hoping anyways. So yeah, another thing I might be able to do is get some hot water. I really don't want to put water into a system that has water, but it already has it. So really, what are we hurting as long as we can get rid of the ice? So with that said, it's getting kind of late out tonight. So I'm going to end off this video right here for today. The first half of this video, that was filmed a few weeks ago. We're back working on our 825 Bobcat. I have no idea where we left off and what I all said. I believe we were draining the oil out because that's what we were doing. So it's been a while. I actually had the skid steer jacked up in the back. It got warm, so all the ice that was in the hydraulic tank, that was able to melt and drain out. As you can see, we have a big drain pan full of liquid there. I'll get that out eventually, and then we'll have a look at it better. But what I gotta go, or what I'm gonna do is, because we had so much water and so much ice in this tank, I am gonna do that front filter. I wasn't going to, but I have to. So we're gonna have to go in. Somehow there's a plate under the pedals that we have to remove. So I gotta figure out how to remove the pedals. We gotta remove the plate underneath there, get to that filter. And then of course we have those 2 other filters that we gotta do. These right here are 10 micron filters. The 1759. They look identical to the 25 micron. They're that little guy. And then this is our 25 micron, that number there. So you got one of these, you got 2 of those. You have a 10 under the pedals. Let me get over here. Okay. So you have, how does this work? Right. A 10 micron goes there, 25 micron goes here, and a 10 micron under the pedal. So 10, 25, 10. We have power in the shop now. I don't think I've said that into a video yet. Yes, we had the lights on before, but now we actually have power. We're not running off an extension cord. So that's awesome. Because now we can actually plug stuff in and run stuff like our things. Yeah. Still need to get a heater in here because it is cold, but you know, baby steps. So I'm gonna get working on removing the pedals, and then I'll check back in with you guys. Okay, I went ahead, I got a little bit more done. Just gonna show you guys this. So instead of pulling the foot pedals right out, I just unbolted these side plates. There's 2 bolts on the front, then there's 1 bolt on the side right here. These other bolts, when you have this up, you can access them. It's this one, and then over there and there. So easy enough, got that unbolted. Just took a ratchet strap, lifted this up, instead of having to take the rods off for the foot pedal. Figured this is easier. I get this opened up. I'll just shine my light in here for you guys. So that's what's under that foot plate. When where those two bolts are at the front, there should be a filter. So someone deleted that at some point in time. That's why there's that pipe there. Yeah, real interesting to find stuff like that. Now, these are things you got to think of when you're buying used equipment. You don't know what's been touched, so expect to find stuff like this. You know, buy filters because that's what it says. I'll put that picture up. Just of the fluid dynamics, or not fluid dynamics, but the fluid, the hydraulic. I'll put up a picture of just a schematic for the hydraulic system from the Bobcat service manual. That's how I knew there was supposed to be 3 filters. So what we're gonna go ahead and do, I'll clean this up really well. The cork gasket's still there. It's intact. I'm gonna just silicone the plate, clean it up really good, reinstall it, and then we should be good to put the pump back in. Because of course we have the little pump out. We'll put that back in, put new oil in it, and it should be fire up and bleed the pumps. Of course we'll be able to see the case drains to make sure they're bleeding. But yeah, this really surprised me. But nonetheless, you know, it's one less filter I ever have to deal with now. It just would have been nice to know. Okay, update. Pedals, they're back in. Plate silicone down. I went ahead, I put our gear pump back on, hooked up all our lines, went over, tightened everything. I put brand new oil in. It's 30 gallons, so 6 20-liter pails. I'm using this stuff. It is just MV22 industrial grade hydraulic oil. This is co-op brand stuff. It's straight around that 60 to 70 bucks a pail, I think, is what I paid. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna turn this thing live. I gotta give it some ether, and then I'll crank it. Hopefully it fires up. Once it fires, I gotta make sure that we're getting flow, but I'll show you guys that right quick. Yeah, that's one of the great things about having that old thing. Most of its life it will live outside, but just because we were fixing it, that's why it's inside. So yeah, let the pumps bleed, let the filters get fluid. We'll let that warm up, and then I'll move my truck. We'll get it outside here right quick. Yes, it still makes quite a bit of noise, but that's just calming. So I think, and who knows, maybe once it's warmed up it'll be a little better. It's outside. I ran it back and forth a bunch. The lift works 100%, up, down, tilt works great. Yeah, so it's kind of all I needed to do tonight on it. We got a bunch of lights that we're going to put on it as well. because right now there's nothing. So come plowing snow in the winter, like now, it's only like 7 o'clock, it's dark. So we're gonna put a bunch of work lights on there. Yeah, I'm really happy that oil and filter actually fixed our problems. Yes, there might be a few more things that we'll have to do here and there on it, but for right now, this is awesome. I'm gonna keep running it. Come back next video. Yeah. Thanks for watching, and yeah, come back next video. Make sure to subscribe. We're almost to 400. Goal is 1,000, but you guys are doing great. But we'll see you next time.